Hi guys and welcome to the Product Village. Today we're going to be looking at one of the lights from Lippmann. This time it's going to be the FX series. Now this is a 200 bicolor light. I've used tons of bicolor lights. I have the Ulanzi, in fact the one I'm using right here, the one that is actually directly in front of me. This is the Ulanzi this is the VL200 bicolor light. I have another one from Kobo, but I think one of the reasons I really like this one is I feel like this Lippmann company, they are like an underdog, right? They don't have this big name, but they have fantastic products, and this is one of them. One of the reasons I like this FX series is the fact that it's pretty bright. You know what? Let me unbox and let me show you guys what's in the box. Alrighty, so this is what we have in the box right here. We have the Lippmann light itself. We have a power cable, we have the dome, we have a manual, and then we have a remote control. Now let's have a look at the features of the FX200. The Lippmann FX200 is a very simple light. As you can see, it has this, the regular dome shape, like most lights. There's a Bowens mount. I love the fact that it's silver, sort of like silver gray. It has the name Lippmann written on it here. You have the dials here. We'll come to that in a minute. And then by the side, it has this slot for using, sort of like if you want to use an umbrella or stuff, you can actually just unscrew this and place it in there. And then for the power, it's actually very easy likewise. Oh, I mistakenly switched it on. Okay, so basically how this works is you get this cable and the cable goes in there this way, and then you turn it and then we'll put it on. The interface is actually pretty simple and easy to use. On the left-hand side, you have the Kelvin, while you have the percentage of the light here. So it's pretty straightforward and easy to use. So with this, you can increase it from 2,800 all the way to 6,500 Kelvin. And then you can also, of course, it moves all the way to 100%, but it's pretty strong. And I'll be showing you guys how strong it is in a minute. It has a normal switch. And that's basically everything about, the features of this light. So now let's set it up and let's put it up to use. Let me show you just how strong this light is. The Lippmann FX200 is a very simple light. I love the shape, and most of all, I think it's the color that I really love the most. It has this silver gray feel. On top, we have a Bowens mount. And then by the side, you have vents. There are quite a number of vents here. There's one at the top, and then there's also one underneath to help dissipate heat. I like this sort of like miniature hole here where you can actually use an umbrella. You can just slip it in and then you can unscrew this and then fit it back in. At the back, it has a very simple interface. There it is. You have just two knobs and a power button. So this is for the Kelvin, while this is for increasing, the intensity of the light. Now the cable, how it works is you actually just grab this cable right here, you set it in there, you turn it, and you're good to go. So let me put it on. There it is. So there you have the Kelvin. Here you have the intensity. So we can move, right now it's at 2008. We can move it all the way down and it gets to 6,500 Kelvin. And then we can also increase the intensity. That's 100. That's pretty bright. Let's take it back to 6,005. Okay, there you go. And that's it. So that's the basic setup. So now let's put it to test. Okay, so we're going to start with 2,800 Kelvin, which is the lowest Kelvin for the FX200. Now, this is at 5%, right? Let me push this up to, say, 25%. Look at how strong that is. Now let's push it all the way to 50%. Aha, see that? Pretty strong. And this is just 50%. Now let's push this up to 75%. Look at that. Very strong. And finally, let's go to 100%. Can see how powerful it is. Now, from 100%, let's change the Kelvin to 6,500. Good. There we have it. Has a different feel. Let's bring it down to 75%. Okay, there you have it. And now let's bring it down to 50%, which is half the power. Now let's move it down to 25%. There you have it. And then finally, let's go down to 5%, which is the lowest. And there you have it. So even at 5%, it still gives a pretty decent light. So when I tell you that this is a very strong light, trust me when I tell you that I know what I'm saying. It looks, I mean, on video, it might not look that bright, but honestly speaking, right here, it is very, very, very bright. Pairing the remote control of the Lippmann light with the FX200 X series is actually very simple. And I think this is a staple for all Lippmann lights. All you need to do is power down the light and then hold on to this set button in the middle. Once you do that, you put on the light, it will blink 3 times and they're paired. It's just that simple. I do think that the Lippmann FX200 series bicolor light, I think is a good light. At the back of my mind, I'm just thinking of ways in which I can actually use the light. Take, for example, you know, when you want to cast shapes, if you're using a snoot, it's usually good to use a 200, watt light. And I think this light will actually do a fantastic job just because of the strength. You'll be able to project into those gobos very well. So you guys let me know what you think about the Lippmann FX200 series. And that's it for this light, guys. I'm gonna see you guys on the next review. Ciao.